See what you've got!
Greetings to all of our many loving fans. I'm Marcelo Zuniga, the lead project editor for the Faulconer Re-Mix project, where we are rescoring the Saiyan and Namek sagas. And today I thought I'd put together a little fun bonus video for you curious kids out there who'd like to know just a little bit more about some of the work that goes into some of these episodes we produce. Specifically, some of the transitions and embellishments we add to the episodes to help the wall-to-wall music flow and blend each track into each other. For those who don't know, transitions, obviously, are unique pieces of music we'll write to change from one track to another. Embellishments, on the other hand, are little smaller elements we'll add on top of an already existing track. Usually we'll do this to help match the actions to scene, or maybe we'll throw in a few goofy notes after a character says a joke. All of this is done to replicate how they did it back in the day. See, apparently, Funimation stipulated that the Cake Mix guys hit beats of a scene with the music, almost like a Tom and Jerry episode. Personally, I thought it added a lot of charm to the music, and it always felt like the music had a presence in the viewing experience. I get it, it's not for everyone, and one might easily argue what the Japanese version does is better, but we're not here to try and recreate the Japanese version. I personally love the Japanese version, but I always thought people who grew up with this version deserve to have the same experience they did back in the early 2000s. You know? So here we're going to go through some of the individual transitions and embellishments in the first 5 episodes we put together. Here we have episode 1, as we kind of scroll through it. Typically in the timeline, I always keep the music tracks on the bottom and try to keep all the sound effects and voice work on top. It's my way of trying to keep it organized. But our first initial transition is somewhere between New Earth music at the beginning prologue and this new slow Raditz theme that Rakim put together for us.
It has been a time of rebuilding, healing, prosperity, and peace for the citizens of Earth. But
here I used the ending symbol note on the theme, and I blended it with a snake sound, which we like to use for Raditz. One of Raditz's leitmotifs that we put together was a snake hiss. And with that, it sort of blends seamlessly into the next track. Otherwise, it just kind of starts on the first Raditz guitar riff. We tried to throw in a snake hiss here and there just to keep the theme going that Raditz is a snake. I'll point them out as we go along. Here in this shot, we introduce Goku, and we use an original theme from the first episode of DBZ produced by the Cake Mix guys back in '98. It doesn't really have an official name to it, but on the CD they call it Time Chamber, erroneously. Of course, in this particular scenario, we are blending out of Home Sweet Home. And when we put this together, we tried adding a little faux Home Sweet Home to try and help fade it out and blend it into the next track. So altogether, it kind of blends out a little more seamlessly. And here we come up to our first embellishment, which is a little bit of a heroic choir on our reveal shot of Goku in the first episode. here we have a liquid stack. To match right on the beat as Goku punches the tree. And here we also have a faux recreation of that quote-unquote time chamber track. A little custom transition I think Joe wrote to help ease into Earth music here. Over here on our introduction of Raditz, I have the Alien Saiyan theme playing, and over top I threw in a little snake hiss. Real simple stuff. Try to throw it in every now and then. Here, this little segment where Raditz kills the farmer has a few layers to it. Essentially, I tried to ease it out from the main alien track I have going on to just a short little cue that Joe wrote. And altogether that should transition quite nicely back into the Alien Saiyan theme. On top of Gohan and Icarus here, we wanted to throw in just a small little embellishment to help emphasize the reveal of Gohan's tail. The way it's timed into the track, some primal bells come out around this shot when the tail comes out, but we wanted to throw in just a little something extra. Initially it sounded just like this, with a couple notes hit from a high little xylophone sounding instrument. But I threw a little reverb on that to make it pop a bit more. Over here, I manually added some strings just to help transition into the Gohan and the Tiger track. As the camera dollies in, I felt like a little something extra was needed. Fun fact, these are actually the same strings that we use later for episode 3. During a quick little Raditz section that we wanted to add a bit more tension to. I always liked how this track ended. Always felt like it very, very seamlessly moved into the next track. Over here, we added a couple goofy little xylophone notes as Gohan looks around. Let's give it a little extra flair. And here at this part, we introduce Gohan's theme, or at least I like to refer to it as Gohan's theme, Kid Gohan's theme, because it's used as such throughout the show. It's not explicitly stated as his theme, but there's a lot of different interpretations to be made about how themes were used and intended throughout the show, so I needed to pick a line of thinking and stick to that rationale. In this case scenario, I wanted this theme to be Kid Gohan's theme, and I treated it as such throughout the Saiyan saga.
Oh, well, hello there. You're a pretty bird.
Now to add a little extra layer to this scene, we had a few extra little embellishments over top as Gohan climbs over the log. Likewise, we wanted to add a little extra bird flutes just to match the scene, and also to serve as a transition into the next track. And that little transition brings us to the next scene. That starts with Goku walking, coming across the same silly tiger that we saw earlier in the episode. Added a couple little blinks on top. Two xylophone hits. Because you figure when Goku looks directly at the camera and blinks at us like we're watching a silent film or some kind of goofy Groucho Marx bit, that's typically where you'd expect them to add tiny little blink sound effects. I always liked the end of this track, added a little bit of extra space voices, hitting the right notes that start with the chase music, the little Krillin powers up chase music. And then when you want to blend and play the two together, it transitions quite nicely. Bing bong boom. I'm a big fan of this section here. We just added a little something to help ease us into what I like to call the waterfall track. And the final result. Now initially, when this track was written for a Goku vs. Frieza episode titled The Ultimate Battle, this track briefly ends and then immediately gets interrupted by Goku being attacked by Frieza. But here we sort of had to write our own new ending theme to it. So as it peters off, we added in our own space voices that sort of blends in from the old track and into its own thing. Here I like this little frantic little marimba jingle as Gohan buckles off the tree branch into Goku's lap. I like little cutesy detail touches like that. Once again, a couple blinks for Goku. Now, fun fact, the snake hisses that are embedded in here are actually originally mixed into this, this is pulled from episode 129, Upgrade to Super Saiyan. If you watch the very beginning of it, in the episode mix, they added a couple snake hisses into the track, and then I used this version initially in an early rough cut, and I think that's where I initially got the idea to use snake hisses for Raditz. Whether people like the idea or not, that's sort of what was born out of the idea. Sort of a easy, quick leitmotif to make Raditz look evil, because, you know, snakes equal bad. And we only have 5 episodes to try and give this guy a musical identity, so we did the best that we could. Raditz's guitar and the snake hiss were our 2 big things that we wanted to use. I always really like this transition here. The nice little added dewdrops to the eerie suspense music. Right here, the theme normally ends after the big guitar riff. But of course, we have our new track start here. And that about does it for episode 1. The rest is pretty straightforward. No special transitions or embellishments to it. And it's mostly just familiar tracks from this point out. So thank you very much for watching. If you want, I can make more of these. I thought they were fun to show off, just to show some of the little extra work that you'd never notice otherwise in these episodes, just to kind of give it that authentic feel that we're trying to match. I hope you appreciate it. Hope you like what we're doing. I don't know, tell your friends. Just trying to do something we've always kind of wanted to make for 20-some years. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. To sound like a parrot. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Whatever. We appreciate your time. Stay tuned. Keep watching. Have a nice day.
Now get lost!